Hey, Kelly cat. Pet cat. Okay. No, covered in hair again. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Summer Meyers. I'm a homeschool mom of 5 kids, and on this channel we talk about all things homeschool, including feeling discouraged about homeschooling. It's gray, it's dark out, and just the idea of getting out of bed and facing another day of doing the same thing is really hard. and I sympathize and I feel that. Ask me how I know. I had a video about burnout back in November. So if you feel like you are on the cusp of that, absolutely check that video out. I'll have a card and something in the description box about being burned out with homeschooling. But I wanted to talk about specifically about what do you do if you're already burned out? I think a lot of the information out there about homeschool burnout and just feeling depressed or discouraged about homeschool is stuff that you do to prevent it. It's like a proactive thing. But what do you do when you're like in it? When you're just in a rut? And that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'll have timestamps linked down in the description box below so you can jump around to what is useful to you. But I wanted to start this video out with things to consider when you are feeling really discouraged. As homeschooler moms, let's be honest, we have a long list of things we have to do. A lot of expectations out there of what we need to accomplish, worry of not accomplishing them, like a real pressure of what that means. And sometimes when you wake up in the morning and you look at your long to-do list, it is so overwhelming that you just can't even today, right? And even then, when you have a long to-do list, as a society, as people, we tend to want to do it, and we want to do it fast, and we want to get it done, and we want to get over it. But if there's so much, how do you do it? How do you let go of it? And I think this is where we talk about the perfection brain and letting it go. It's okay, mama. I'm just going to say it's okay. You can set that list to the side. That expectations, those are all things that are not real. They're just a heavy cloud, and you can disperse it. You don't need to keep it just hanging over your head. Simplify your list, look down at it and say, this is what I need, and I don't need everything else. It's okay to set those burdens aside. It's okay to set that to-do list aside. Another thing that we tend to do also is refer back to the past and looking back and saying, oh my gosh, we did not do nearly as much as we needed to, and just feeling extreme guilt over that and regret. And I've been there, I felt that, and just feeling really defeated inside by it. And not only that, there's a huge future, especially this time of year, where you are looking towards a deadline and saying, this is where I need to be by the end. And I didn't accomplish anything. And it feels that way, even though, mama, pretty sure you did. And so to combat that those two weights of past and future that are just pressing down on you is to focus on the now. Be in the present tense. Celebrate the little victories that you have right now. If you are in your bed, get out of bed, brush your teeth, and celebrate that. Be like, I got out of bed and I brushed my teeth. And then you go on to the next task. Focus on right now what I can do, and then celebrate those little victories. And not only that, intentionally in the now. So be intentional in your next step. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to be in the now and just letting things happen to you. Take a proactive step of one step. This is what I'm going to do right now. And then make that step. And then you can be like, wow, that wasn't too hard. I'm going to take one more intentional step. And you move in those little baby steps until the end of the day. And then you can look back and say, this is what we did today and this feels good. Do not disturb for 1 more hour. Sorry. Let's talk about practical tips. Simplify your schedule. So just do the basic R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. If you've got extra unit studies, if you've got extra co-ops, if you've got extra activities planned for the week, drop them. I'm giving you permission right now to just drop them and have a week of R, and R, where you just focus on the very, very basics. By the end of that week, you will have had a whole week of good reading, writing, and arithmetic. And then you can look back and feel a sense of accomplishment. And it'll also just give your brain a mental break from rushing to do all of those little extras. So simplify. Another advice or tip is to try to figure out how to push out that negative energy. I feel negative energy. I'm just one of those people that likes to build it all inside. And then as soon as that negative energy comes out, it's like rage cleaning. And I just rage clean everywhere. And it doesn't mean I yell and throw pots and pans. It's just like I just furiously clean. And then my house is so clean. And it's like, it feels so much better. So if you have some built up negative, just discouragement or feelings of depression, find a way of pushing that out. And sometimes it takes a physical activity to get it out. For me, it's cleaning. I also feel great peace when I go out hiking by myself. Sometimes I can do it with my kids, but if I'm really feeling it, I need that time to myself and just physical activity of pushing myself to my limit. A lot of people find a lot of satisfaction in working out and going to the gym and just having that kind of calming influence of having multiple people around you kind of pushing themselves and doing hard things. Another thing that I like to do if I'm feeling just overwhelmed and discouraged is to journal out my feelings. And I'll literally just sit there and just write and write and write and write and write. And sometimes when it's really just bad, I'll tear it out and I'll crumple it up and I'll burn it. That's just my way of releasing all of that extra tension. So try that. Try writing down all of your anguish and anger and frustration. If I'm kind of like an angry person. I'm not an angry person. I'm clearly not an angry person. But when I get that discouraged feeling, I tend to go vocal. For a lot of people, they go sad. So if you've got a lot of down feelings or whatever, write it all out. Write it all out into your journal and then crumple it up and burn it and just release it and say, it's very therapeutic to watch all of your pain, anger, frustration to disappear in a cloud of smoke. Be sure that it's not, like a bonfire. I mean, don't set your house on fire by accident because that's not going to help anybody. My last practical tip is to find another homeschool mama. There is no reason for you to do this by yourself. There's no reason. And it can be hard if you live in an isolated community, like if you're in a more rural environment. But there are so many Facebook forums and social media platforms that you can reach out to other homeschool mamas, and I guarantee they have all experienced a day like you're having, where they have felt discouraged. And talking it out with another homeschool mama who understands the frustration of dealing with curriculum that isn't working, or a child who's having trouble, or whatever it is, whatever season of life you're in at the moment, talking it out just helps release that pressure. And it also releases that feeling of loneliness and isolation where you feel like I am just experiencing this all by myself and I don't think anybody knows or understands what I'm doing. And talking it out with somebody. And feel free, you can talk to me. You can talk to me, tell me all about it. I'm happy to talk it out and reach out. These are things that we all struggle with, and we've all had bad days or bad weeks or bad months. Don't sit there with that. It's okay. It's all right. And everything's going to be fine. And it's okay to talk it out with somebody. So if you haven't already, check out that burned out video that I did earlier in November. I'll have it linked down below. And that'll give some more practical tips of how to shake things up in your homeschool. I hope this was helpful. If it was, like, subscribe, and I will talk to you all next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.